Chapter 1: A Sky Full of Signs. Luna Ramirez leaned back in her chair, the glow from her computer screen casting a soft light in her dimly lit home office. As an astrologer with a modest following on her blog, Celestial Ties, she was used to receiving all sorts of inquiries and comments from her readers, everything from questions about love compatibility to the best days for starting a new job. But tonight's email was different. Subject: Our stars align. The sender, Orion Mystery, wrote eloquently about the alignments of the planets and their potential impact on two people's destinies. He claimed, with surprising confidence, that his and Luna's charts suggested a profound astrological compatibility, potentially pointing to soulmates determined by the stars. Luna was naturally skeptical. She knew well the complexity of astrological charts, how each aspect and transit could be interpreted in myriad ways. Yet, something about the email intrigued her. Perhaps it was the sender's evident knowledge of astrology, or maybe it was just the romantic idea that the cosmos might have intended for their paths to cross. Curiosity piqued, Luna pulled up her own natal chart, a complex diagram of planets and aspects she knew by heart, and began to ponder the possibility. She decided to reply, setting in motion a correspondence that would change the trajectory of her life. Dear Orion, she typed, her fingers hesitating over the keys. Your message has caught me at a time when the stars seem to be whispering secrets I'm only beginning to understand. Could you share more about these alignments you speak of? As she awaited a reply, Luna gazed out her window. The city lights obscured most stars, but she knew they were there, silent and watchful. She felt a connection, a pull in the fabric of the universe, tugging her towards something, or someone, unknown. Orion's response came quickly, as if he had been waiting just for her signal. His email was detailed, including diagrams of their charts overlaid, pointing out the conjunctions and trines that supposedly spelled out a destined connection. He wrote of the moon in her sign making a perfect angle with his Venus, and Mars aligning harmoniously with her Jupiter. With each exchange, their conversation deepened, moving from the general influence of the stars to more personal revelations. Luna found herself sharing her fears, her dreams, and even the loneliness that often accompanied her nights spent studying the sky. One night, as a crescent moon hung low in the sky, casting a silver arc over the world, Luna received another email from Orion. It was Chapter 2: Charting the Heart. After agreeing to Orion's proposal to meet during the upcoming lunar eclipse, Luna set about the task of understanding not just the celestial, but also the terrestrial, Orion himself. Over the next few weeks, their correspondence grew both in intensity and intimacy. Each email exchanged was like a star in their shared constellation, mapping a sky they were painting together. In her quiet office, surrounded by stacks of astrological texts and charts, Luna pored over the details Orion shared about his life. He spoke of his upbringing in a small coastal town where the night sky served as his childhood canvas, sparking his lifelong passion for astronomy, a pursuit that paralleled her own, yet was so beautifully different. Orion asked Luna for her exact time of birth, promising a deeper exploration of their synastry, the astrological study of relationships. Luna, in turn, requested his. That night, she meticulously calculated the potential energies their planets exchanged. The moon's soft light streamed through her window, illuminating her focused expression as she traced lines between Venus here, Mars there, heart lines written in the stars. Orion's Venus was indeed conjunct her ascendant, a powerful indicator of attraction. His Mars, meanwhile, squared her Venus, suggesting a passion that could either ignite or burn. And yet, their moons were trine, promising emotional harmony and understanding. Are the stars really aligning for us, or is it merely the human heart seeking its counterpart? She mused aloud to her empty room. With every detail Orion revealed about himself, Luna's skepticism waned. He spoke of his love for the Rosette Nebula, his favorite celestial body, because like love, it is complex and beautiful from afar, but made of the most turbulent and chaotic processes. Luna felt her heart resonate with his words, as if he was not only charting celestial bodies, but also navigating the pathways to her soul. They agreed to delve into a more practical approach by exchanging daily experiences along with astrological insights. Each morning, Luna would share how the planet's movements might influence their day, and each evening, they would discuss how those predictions played out. Orion proved to be an insightful observer of both the heavens and the human condition. His emails were thoughtful, often blending scientific precision with poetic metaphors. Luna found herself waiting for his messages with bated breath, her days now punctuated by the ping of new emails, each one a heartbeat in their growing relationship. As the date of the eclipse drew nearer, Luna felt a mixture of anticipation and fear. She knew the stars could only tell her so much. The true test of their connection would be their face-to-face meeting. Would the same warmth that flowed so easily through their digital correspondence manifest in the physical world? In her heart, Luna charted a new constellation, one that mapped not just a potential love, but a journey of self-discovery. For the first time in a long while, she looked forward not only to the stars' whisperings, but to the echoes of a heart that might just match the rhythm of her own. Chapter 3: New Moon Beginnings. The new moon marked a phase of new beginnings, and for Luna, it symbolized a fresh chapter in her life that was slowly intertwining with Orion's. The dark night sky, devoid of the moon's light, mirrored her own blank canvas of possibilities. As she prepared for their upcoming meeting, Luna couldn't help but reflect on the transformative power of new phases, both celestial and personal. In her home office, surrounded by the comforting scent of jasmine incense, Luna organized her thoughts and feelings into her journal, a practice she maintained religiously. She wrote about Orion, about the alignment of their stars, and about her hopes for what might come when they finally met under the celestial spectacle of the eclipse. Orion, on his part, seemed equally moved by the approaching new moon. He sent Luna a series of photographs he had taken of the night sky, each one a testament to his patience and passion for astronomy. His latest email included a picture of the spot he had chosen for their meeting, a secluded overlook with a clear view of the horizon, perfect for watching the eclipse. He wrote, "Here, under the unblinking eye of the cosmos, I hope we can start our own new phase." The plan was set. Luna would drive to the small town of Crestview, a few hours from the city, where the light pollution was minimal and the stars shone with fervor. She packed her telescope, a pair of binoculars, and a specially prepared picnic basket. Her heart fluttered with a mixture of excitement and nervousness as she loaded her car. This was it, the moment when the theoretical would become real. As Luna embarked on her journey, the road stretched before her like the dark void of the new moon, full of unknowns yet brimming with potential. She played a playlist of ambient space music, letting the serene sounds calm her restless thoughts. The drive gave her time to ponder the significant astrological moment they were about to share. The new moon, with its promise of new beginnings, was the perfect time to meet someone who might become an important part of her life. Upon arriving at the designated spot, Luna found Orion already there, setting up his own telescope. He was taller than she had imagined, his silhouette a dark figure against the fading twilight. As she approached, Orion turned and greeted her with a warm, albeit slightly shy, smile. "Welcome, Luna," he said, his voice as comforting and familiar as his emails. "I'm really glad you could make it." The initial awkwardness soon gave way to a comfortable camaraderie, as they busied themselves with setting up their equipment. Luna was impressed by Orion's expertise and the ease with which he handled the telescope. They spoke softly about trivial things, the weather, the drive, the quiet beauty of the night. But beneath the casual exchange, there was an undercurrent of anticipation, a mutual understanding that they were on the cusp of something significant. As the sky darkened further, and the stars began to claim their places in the night tapestry, Luna and Orion lay back on a blanket, their eyes fixed on the heavens. They talked about their favorite constellations, shared stories of celestial events they had witnessed, and discussed the profound effect that gazing at the stars could have on a person. "It makes one feel both incredibly small and infinitely significant, doesn't it? Luna mused, her voice low in the quiet night. Yes, Orion agreed, turning to look at her. It's like looking at the past, present, and future all at once. And tonight, it feels like a new beginning. Under the new moon's invisible gaze, Luna felt a connection to Orion that went beyond their shared interest in the stars. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring them together at this moment, under this sky, for a reason neither of them fully understood yet. As they awaited the eclipse, Luna felt hopeful about the new phase that was just beginning to unfold. Chapter 4: The First Quarter Challenge. After their initial meeting under the new moon's invisible cloak, Luna and Orion found themselves riding a wave of euphoria. The night had been perfect, filled with shared laughter and mutual discoveries. However, as the moon transitioned into its first quarter, illuminating half its face, Luna faced the inevitable challenge of merging this newfound connection into her everyday life. Back in the city, life resumed its normal pace, but with an added complexity. Luna juggled her daily responsibilities with the growing need to stay connected with Orion. They continued their correspondence, now punctuated with phone calls that often stretched into the early hours. Each conversation was a revelation, a chance to delve deeper into each other's minds and spirits. Yet, doubts began to creep into Luna's mind, instigated by the reactions of her close friends. One evening, over dinner at her favorite cafe, she shared the story of her and Orion's celestial meeting and their burgeoning relationship. Her friends, always protective, expressed concerns. "Are you sure you're not letting the romance of the stars cloud your judgment?" asked Maria, her brow furrowed in worry. "People can be very different in person than they are online or even on the phone." Luna defended her feelings and the authenticity of her connection with Orion, but Maria's words planted seeds of doubt. Could the alignment of their stars have been merely a beautiful coincidence mistaken for destiny? Compounding these interpersonal challenges was a professional one. Luna had been invited to speak at a major astrology conference, a career-defining opportunity. The preparation was intense, requiring focus and time, resources that her relationship with Orion was also demanding. Orion, meanwhile, sensed Luna's growing anxiety. He offered support and understanding, suggesting they take things slowly, ensuring she had space to breathe and focus on her conference. His response was a relief, yet it also made Luna question their pace. Was slowing down an indication of his waning interest, or simply a respectful acknowledgement of her needs? As the first quarter moon reached its zenith, Luna found herself at a crossroads. One evening, standing on her balcony gazing at the half-lit moon, she contemplated the dual nature of her situation. Much like the moon's current phase, only part of her felt illuminated and sure, while the other part lingered in shadow. The phone rang, pulling her from her reverie. It was Orion, calling with his usual impeccable timing. They talked about her upcoming conference, and he shared exciting news of his own. He had secured a grant to study the impact of celestial events on marine life, his other passion. Their conversation moved naturally from professional updates to deeper emotional territories. Luna mentioned her friend's concerns, and Orion listened without interruption, his silence a comforting space for her doubts to unfold. "Luna," he finally said, his voice steady and sincere, "I understand their worries, and yours. We jumped into this under extraordinary circumstances. The stars might have brought us together, but it's up to us to choose how we navigate this path, carefully, thoughtfully, without rushing." His words were like the moonlight, clearing some of the shadows, providing a pathway through the dark. Luna felt a mixture of relief and affection. Here was someone who not only shared her love for the stars, but respected her earthly concerns. As they ended the call with promises to support each other's ambitions and dreams, Luna felt a renewed sense of purpose. The first quarter challenge was not just about balancing romance with reality, but about understanding the phases of a relationship. Like the waxing moon, it was about growth and overcoming challenges, a gradual building towards something full and bright. She looked forward to the coming days with a hopeful heart, ready to face whatever the next phase might bring. Chapter 5: Waxing Gibbous Revelations. As the waxing gibbous moon grew fuller, so did Luna and Orion's understanding of each other. This phase, marked by illumination and clarity, brought with it deep and unexpected revelations that tested the strength of their budding relationship. One evening, as Luna prepared for her upcoming presentation at the astrology conference, she received a long, contemplative email from Orion. In it, he revealed more about his past, a tumultuous family history that had led him to seek solace in the stars and the sea. This vulnerability was new. Until now, their exchanges had focused mostly on their shared interests and the present moments of connection. Luna was touched by his trust in her, realizing that their relationship was moving into deeper waters. As she read Orion's words, Luna felt a profound connection to his struggles and aspirations. It reminded her of the complex layers that every individual carries. Much like the phases of the moon, only part of us is ever visible to the world, while much remains hidden, awaiting the right moment and the right person to be revealed. Eager to reciprocate his openness, Luna decided to share more about her own challenges. During a late-night phone call, she spoke of her early days struggling to make a name for herself in the astrology community, of the skepticism she faced, and how those experiences shaped her approach to her practice and her life. Orion listened attentively, his responses thoughtful and encouraging. This exchange marked a shift in their relationship. They were no longer just two people fascinated by the alignment of their stars, they were becoming integral parts of each other's lives, sharing pains and triumphs alike. As the conference approached, Luna felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The night before her big day, Orion sent her a digital care package, a playlist of soothing cosmic melodies, a virtual bouquet of star-shaped flowers, and a note that read, "No matter what happens tomorrow, you've already illuminated so many lives, mine most of all. Shine bright, Luna." Bolstered by his support, Luna delivered a passionate and well-received presentation on the influence of celestial bodies on personal growth. Her success at the conference was a culmination of her hard work and dedication, but also a reflection of the positive influences in her life, particularly the unique bond she shared with Orion. After the conference, as Luna walked through the bustling streets, her phone buzzed with a message from Orion. He proposed they take a short trip together to a nearby observatory for the upcoming full moon. It would be a chance to celebrate her success, enjoy the night sky they both loved, and solidify their relationship outside the virtual space that had nurtured it. As Luna read the message, the brightening sky seemed to mirror the growing fullness of her heart. The waxing gibbous had brought revelations and deeper connections, setting the stage for what she hoped would be a beautiful culmination under the full moon. Excited and a little nervous, she typed her reply, agreeing to the trip. As she sent the message, she felt as though she were sending a piece of her heart along with it, hopeful for what the full moon would bring. Chapter 6: Full Moon Meeting. The awaited night of the full moon arrived, casting a brilliant silvery glow over the world. Luna and Orion planned their rendezvous at the remote observatory, a place where the heavens stretched endlessly, unmarred by the lights of the city. The observatory sat atop a high hill, surrounded by dark, whispering forests that seemed to hold their breath in anticipation of the celestial spectacle. Luna arrived first, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. She had dressed carefully for the occasion, choosing a soft blue sweater that matched her eyes and a pair of comfortable jeans, perfect for an evening of stargazing. Her telescope and binoculars were already set up, pointing towards the eastern sky where the moon would soon make its grand appearance. Orion arrived shortly after, his car lights briefly slicing through the darkness. He stepped out, a broad smile lighting up his face as he spotted Luna. They embraced, the connection immediate and comforting, as if affirming that the bond they had nurtured over distances was just as potent in person. "Beautiful night," Orion remarked, looking up at the rapidly darkening sky. "Perfect for a full moon," Luna replied, her voice tinged with excitement. Together, they adjusted the telescopes and prepared their viewing area, spreading out a blanket and unpacking a small picnic Luna had prepared, nothing too elaborate, just some cheese, crackers, and a bottle of red wine. As they settled down, the full moon began its ascent, its light gradually overpowering the stars around it. Luna pointed it out, her finger tracing its path as Orion watched her, fascinated by her passion and knowledge. Every full moon feels like a revelation, Luna said softly, her eyes not leaving the telescope. It's a culmination of all the phases, a time for things to come to light. Orion nodded, his gaze shifting between the moon and Luna. And tonight, it feels like we're part of that revelation. Everything we've shared, it's all led to this moment. The night deepened, and they took turns looking through the telescope, discussing various celestial phenomena and the myths associated with the moon. The conversation flowed easily, but there was an undercurrent of something more, an unspoken acknowledgement of their growing feelings. Eventually, they lay back on the blanket, the telescope forgotten for a moment, as they looked up at the moon. Orion took Luna's hand in his, the contact sending a pleasant shiver through her. Luna, he began hesitantly, these past weeks, getting to know you, sharing our worlds, it's been incredible. I feel like there's a reason the universe brought us together. Luna turned to face him, her heart in her eyes. I feel it too, Orion. It's like we've been orbiting each other, and finally, we're in alignment. They smiled, their faces illuminated by the moonlight, both aware of the significance of their words. It was a confession, an admission of the feelings that had been growing between them, nurtured by shared interests and deep conversations. The moon reached its peak, bathing everything in its radiant light. Orion leaned in, and Luna met him halfway, their kiss a soft seal on their mutual confession. It was gentle, tentative at first, then deepened with the undeniable truth of their connection. As they pulled apart, the world seemed to resume around them, the sounds of the night, the whisper of the trees, and the soft glow of the moon. They remained there for a long time, talking, laughing, and planning future meetings. The full moon had indeed brought revelations, shining a light on their feelings and casting a glow on their path forward. As they packed up to leave, their hands intertwined, Luna felt a profound sense of completeness. The moon had witnessed their union, a fitting guardian for their newfound love. Chapter 7: Waning Gibbous Reflections. In the days following their enchanted full moon meeting, Luna and Orion returned to their daily routines, each carrying with them the glow of newly affirmed feelings. However, as the moon entered its waning gibbous phase, it seemed to mirror Luna's own internal shifts, a time for reflection and introspection, for understanding the deeper implications of their burgeoning relationship. Luna found herself at her desk late one night, surrounded by her astrology charts and the comforting scent of sandalwood incense. Her thoughts wandered to Orion, to the profound connection they had discovered, and to the kiss under the moonlight that had seemed to seal their feelings. Yet, amid the romance, a practical voice whispered doubts. Love, especially one that seemed written in the stars, could be as daunting as it was beautiful. She picked up her phone, scrolling through their recent conversations. Orion's words were always supportive and kind, filled with an enthusiasm that matched her own. But Luna couldn't shake off the nagging feeling of uncertainty. Was moving forward together truly destined, or were they merely two lonely souls who had found comfort in each other's understanding of the universe? During a late-night video call, Luna shared her reflections with Orion. She spoke of her fear that their relationship, initiated under such unusual and romantic circumstances, might struggle under the weight of everyday realities. Orion listened intently, his face a comforting presence in the glow of her computer screen. Luna, he said, his voice steady, it's natural to have doubts, especially when something feels as significant as this. But remember, the waning moon isn't about loss, it's about clarification. It's a time to let go of what doesn't serve us and to understand what truly matters. His words struck a chord. Luna realized that her doubts weren't just about their relationship, but also about her own fears of opening up fully to someone else. The waning moon, with its diminishing light, was prompting her to release these fears, to trust in the journey, regardless of the outcome. They decided to spend more time together in person, to see how their connection fared outside the cocoon of their planned meetings and celestial events. The following weekend, Orion visited Luna in her city. They explored her favorite haunts, shared meals, and talked for hours about everything and nothing. The ease of their interaction, both profound and playful, helped Luna realize that their connection was not just a product of romantic circumstances, but was rooted in genuine compatibility. One evening, sitting together in Luna's small backyard watching the waning gibbous moon, Orion took her hand. "Look at the moon," he said. "Even as it grows smaller, it's still the same moon. Our feelings, too, might wane at times, under the pressures of daily life, but what we have is real. It's up to us to keep it strong." Luna squeezed his hand, comforted by his analogy. She felt a newfound determination to navigate this phase of their relationship with openness and honesty. The reflections of the waning gibbous had provided not only insights, but also resolutions. As they sat in silence, watching the night sky, Luna felt a sense of peace settle over her. The moon cycle would continue, as would their own, each phase bringing its own challenges and joys. Together, they had the strength to face them, guided by the stars, but grounded in the reality they were building together. Chapter 8: A New Cycle. The waning crescent moon hung like a delicate silver sliver in the pre-dawn sky, heralding the end of one cycle and the impending birth of another. For Luna and Orion, this celestial symbol resonated deeply, marking the transition from a period of uncertainty and introspection to one of renewed commitment and hope. In the quiet hours of the early morning, Luna sat at her desk, reflecting on the recent journey she and Orion had undertaken. The pages of her journal were filled with thoughts and experiences from the past lunar cycle, each entry a step on the path they had carved together. Now, as a new cycle approached with the upcoming new moon, Luna felt a sense of anticipation for what was to come. The decision to embrace their relationship fully, to see where this mutual path would lead, had brought them even closer. They had begun to weave their lives together, not just through shared interests and celestial events, but through the everyday moments that truly defined a partnership. Orion had started to leave some of his belongings at her place, a casual but significant sign of his intent to be part of her world. They planned meals, shared household chores when he stayed over, and discussed books and articles, each interaction seamlessly blending their lives. As the new moon neared, they decided to celebrate this phase with a small ritual that Luna had proposed, a symbolic gesture to honor their journey and set intentions for the cycle ahead. Under the blanket of night, they met in Luna's backyard, a space she had decorated subtly with candles and soft lanterns, casting a gentle glow. They each wrote down their hopes and fears on pieces of paper. Luna's were detailed, reflecting her nature, full of aspirations for their relationship and her personal growth. Orion's were broader, imbued with his calm resolve and deep desire for their continued happiness together. Together, they read their notes aloud under the starlit sky, then burned them in a small fire pit, releasing their intentions to the universe. The flames flickered and danced, consuming the paper but liberating their words into the night air. "I feel like we're really starting something new, something real," Orion said, watching the embers glow. "It's not just about the alignment of our stars anymore. It's about us, choosing each other, every day." Luna nodded, her heart full. "A new cycle in every sense," she agreed. "I'm so grateful for everything that led us here, but I'm even more excited for what we'll create together. No matter the phase of the moon." As the fire died down to glowing coals, they sat in silence, wrapped in blankets and each other's presence. The night was still, the air crisp with the promise of dawn. Luna leaned against Orion, her head resting on his shoulder, feeling the steady beat of his heart. In the darkness before the first light of the new moon, they made plans to visit a stargazing retreat, a getaway that would combine their love for the stars with their desire to explore new places together. It was a fitting way to mark the beginning of this new cycle, a journey not just guided by celestial movements, but also by the rhythms of their hearts. As they finally headed back inside, the first hint of dawn tinged the horizon with color. The new moon would soon rise, unseen but powerful, its presence a quiet affirmation of new beginnings. For Luna and Orion, this was more than just another phase, it was a profound commitment to continue growing together, under the vast, ever-changing sky.